Thing one tonight, it's the end of a long week for the Proud Warriors carrying the president's water over at Trump TV. With the Mueller testimony driving Trump nuts, the folks at Fox had to work extra hard to spin for the boss man.
Even with this albatross around his neck, the president has once again beaten the elites at their own game.
Never meet your heroes. That's how the saying goes. They'll only disappoint you. Well, that's true, by the way, as Democrats across the country learned the hard way today.
Today's hearing capped off what will now go down in history as one of the single biggest, most epic embarrassments in history.
The Democrats are such idiots. They call him to testify, and now he's going to have a mouthpiece to help him.
Well, let me ask
this guy was the director of the FBI.
The channel really pulled out all the stops, even bringing in this dynamic young legal analyst to join the gang on Trump TV and Friends leading up to the Mueller hearings. As it turns out, upon closer inspection, it was actually the president's own lawyer in some sort of disguise. But today, Fox News had to go and release a new 2020 poll, and the audience of one was not happy. Trump turns on Trump TV. That's thing two in 60 seconds. One of the few remaining parts of Trump TV not in the tank for the president is their polling operation. And so when Fox News conducted a legitimate poll and with what appeared to be legitimate results, Trump seemed to have a legitimate tantrum. Now, we're not talking about the Fox News poll results published Wednesday on the economy. He loved that one. Fox poll says best economy in decades, exclamation point. But then Fox News released these numbers yesterday. Mind you, they are from the same poll, showing Trump losing in a 2020 matchup to Joe Biden by 10 points. Ouch. To Bernie Sanders by 6 points. And a statistical tie with Elizabeth Warren and Kamala Harris. Okay, now he hates the poll. And today, Trump hates Trump TV.
The president tweeted about the polling today. Fox News is at it again, he wrote. So different from what they used to be during the 2016 primaries and before. Proud Warriors. Now Fox News polls, which have always been terrible to me, they had me losing big to crooked Hillary, have me down to Sleepy Joe. The Fox News poll did have President Trump losing the popular vote to Hillary Clinton. And the Fox News poll was accurate. The poll predicted Hillary Clinton would beat Donald Trump by 4 percentage points with a margin of error of 2.5%. So Clinton would win the popular vote by a margin of between 1.5% and 6.5%. She did. Her margin of victory was 2.1%, close to 3 million voters. The polls were accurate.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.